Okay, in this video I want to look at bubble charts. So I've created a file called bubble.py, and we're going to load this bubble worksheet, and we're going to save it as always as bubble2 down here. Now before we get into this code, let's take a look at this worksheet really quickly. And you can see I've just got some dummy data here, product sales and market share. And so this is products. We're just using numbers instead of names. This is how many sales we had of each one, and this is the market share of that product. So we've got two sort of sets of data, and I kind of separated them just so visually it's easier to keep track of these. Let's call these sales from, 2020, and let's call these sales from 2021. So, just some basic dummy data, and that's what we're gonna deal with. So, okay, head back over to our file, and we're importing bubble chart. We're also importing series, and we're importing reference. So we could start by loading our spreadsheet as always. We're going to set the chart as bubble chart. And then this is where it gets a little different than all the other charts we've done in the past. If you take a look at some of the other charts we've done, like the donut charts we just looked at, we have these labels and we have these data, and then we add the data and the labels. And most of our charts and graphs have pretty much followed this same layout where we reference our data and our labels, and we set the columns like this. Well, with the bubble chart, we still set the columns and rows. We just do it a little differently. Instead of labels and data, we're calling X values and Y values and size. And the reason why this is size is because we're dealing with market share, and the size of our bubbles will equal the size of that market share. So same deal. We're going to set our columns using the reference tag here, and then our worksheet. And let me pull up our data and kind of just bring it in like this. So you can see for our X values, we start at minimum column 1, that's right here, right? And we go minimum row 2 through 5. So that's row 2 through 5. So that's going to pull all of this data, right? Those are the X values. For the Y values, we're going to start at column 2, min column 2, and we're going to go row 2 to row 5. So we're just going to call this stuff here, right? So the main difference is in the X values, we've got this, in the Y values, we don't, right? And then finally, the size, we just go straight into column 3. That's our market share. So min column 3, min row 2 through 5. That's right here, 2 through 5, right? So, sort of the same thing. We're just kind of calling them different things, X values and Y values versus, labels and data, basically, right? So, okay, once we do that, we have to put all of that stuff together. So we call series equals series, and that's this guy right up here. And we set our values to Y values, that's this. We set our X values to X values, which is this. We set our Z values to the size, which is obviously this. And then let's give this thing a title of 2020. Now this is not going to be the title of the chart. This is more like the legend title for this set of data, right? So, okay, we can then come down here and do the exact same thing for the other chunk of data that we've got. So if we pull this up, that was all this stuff. We do it again for this second chunk right here, right? And again, we call X values, Y values, size, and we just set the different columns in those exact same way we did up here, just for that second chunk of data. And again, we put it all together. So after we've sort of defined both of our chunks here, this chunk and this chunk, right? We also need to chart.series.append this thing. And we do that for each of these. So right here and right here. So that's really all there is to it. Now we can set a chart style like we've done many times before. And again, this is just a number. You can pick any number you want. We'll go with 18. And then finally, we just add the chart in the same way we've always added our charts. Let's stick this in E1. If we look at our data again really quickly, that's going to be like right here. That's going to be like right here at the top. So we give some space in the D column, and then our chart will go right there. So, okay, so looking through this, it looks good. Oh, up here, we also need to load our workbook, right? I left that off. So just like all the other things we've done throughout this course, we need to load our workbook. So, okay, let's go ahead and save this, and now let's run this. So let's go Python bubble.py. And now we can head over here and open bubble2. And when we do, we see this cool bubble chart. And we can move it around a little bit. And so the blue is this first set of data. The red is the second set of data. and sort of the relative size of each bubble, that's your market share. And you can look through here. So like this one right here. So this is, we're over 20. So that would be this guy right here. We're up 60, sure enough, 60, and 33% is the relative market share. Not the biggest one, that would be this one right here, which would be this guy. So if we look here, over 22, yeah, that's about right. Up 32, yeah, that's about right. And very cool. So that's the bubble chart, and that's all for this video.